Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Now this one is, once again, I've got some Battlefield 4 running in the background and I'm actually going to talk about Battlefield 4, or rather what I want from the next Battlefield, now that Battlefield 4 has sort of matured a bit and become a little bit better than it was previously, on PC anyway, and consoles. But for Battlefield 5, I want to discuss on what I would like to see for the next Battlefield title. Or at least maybe what I can hope, because I doubt this will actually happen. But at the moment in time, I personally want to see another Second World War shooter. Now, there used to be a big craze of World War II shooters that used to go along and pop up every, couple of months. You had some free games, you had paid games, but the last time the Battlefield series explored what a world war was the 1940 series, 1942, and I think it was 1943, were the last battlefields that were in World War II. And since then, there's been a very select few good shooters which have been based in World War II. Heroes in Generals being a more realistic one, which I did play, but it got harder and harder to play as certain sides, and the aircraft gameplay is frankly terrible. So that's why I don't play that game anymore. And pretty much every single time they want you to pay for something or other to get unlock this, unlock that, and it's a load of bullshit, really. I would like to see a AAA title go back to the World War II franchise and era. And I've talked to a couple of my friends on this topic as well, and they would actually like to do something very similar to it, or just go back to World War II. Mainly have some just old school cool guns like the AK-47. I know that might not have been in World War II, or some old style guns that, yes, it may be a little bit more crude, but I kind of want a more simplistic shooter. I don't want to be messing around with gadgets, lock-ons, helis, this and that. I would much rather there be something like the 1943 game had, which was the aircraft were powerful, but you had anti-aircraft batteries which were controllable, and you could shoot down aircraft, and they rinsed aircraft around very, very quickly, killed them very, very quickly. Something like that I think would be much, much more beneficial in a World War II based shooter. I would also like to see maybe, I think it was 1943 that did this, as soon as when you started losing, your aircraft carrier would actually sink. But I would love a game mode where it would be specifically Navy versus Navy, like on a huge map with no land, and it's just for aircraft and ship combat, where you could work as a crew on a ship to direct fire down on an enemy fleet, and pilots on the aircraft carrier could be directed to the enemy fleet and drop their torpedoes while the enemy ships are sending AA fire out. I would love to see that in a game, maybe even a Battlefield game, but I don't think anybody's going to do it because it's actually fairly hard to do something like that. So it's kind of going to be a matter of trying to figure out the game modes to do it. I mean, I did play a bit of 1943 when it was free, when it became free on Origin. I actually did pick up a copy of that game. I think it's only like 5 gigs, and they ran at some weird fucked resolution that didn't really fit my monitor at the time. So yeah, I would like to see something like that again. Something different. I'm fed up with all the modern first-person shooters like Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield, except, what was it? The Bad Company series were more modern. Call of Duty's going into more modern and more modern and more modern. I kind of just want an old school shooter again, but there's not many around that are actually good. The ones that are good, I haven't played, I haven't heard of them, because I try to find a World War II shooter a lot, because I want something more simple. I mean, I like Battlefield 4, I like Battlefield 3, but I just want something different now. There's so many modern first-person shooters out on the market. I just want to go back to a decent World War II based shooter. Is that too much to ask for? Apparently so, because we haven't had one in many years now. And I think the big part of it is everybody is going towards modern games and modern shooters now, considering the increase in technology, and people are going to be making really graphically what's the word? The graphic fidelity of games is improving massively. I mean, look at Star Wars Battlefront. That game looks really, really nice. I mean, I'm considering still picking it up. because I just want a bit more of a casual shooter. And I haven't had a Star Wars shooter in ages, so I will kind of want one again. And that kind of pushes me towards a more modern game, but I really, really want to see someone do a old school first-person shooter in either World War I or World War II. We haven't had many, if any, World War I shooters, apart from Verdun, I think it is. I think that's one of the few World War I trench warfare shooters that we actually have, as far as I'm aware anyway. If I'm wrong, leave a comment below and tell me that I'm wrong and I missed something. I don't know everything. So that's kind of the point. So that's what I would like to see. I want something different. And is that too much to ask? Apparently so. So that is my 2 cents on modern shooters. I do like playing them still. I will play them if they're good. And especially now with the new engine, with Battlefield 4 being pretty much fixed. Imagine what you could do with a first-person World War II shooter. You could let the game look amazing. Like, really, really amazing. Battlefield 4's got some great graphics, and Star Wars Battlefront uses the same engine as Battlefield 4. And that game looks stunning. Imagine if you could make a first-person shooter in the World War II era with planes, the ground vehicles, the actual battlefields like Midway in the Pacific. You could have Eastern Europe. You could have China. You could have I'm trying to think of some of the other battles. Battle of Britain in the air, Battle of France, D-Day, Normandy, that sort of thing. You could have all those locations in a modern game, and it would look amazing. You could probably recognize a lot of the actual cities as well, which would be great. Being able to relate to places in a game, I always find that really interesting. Especially if it's accurate, then you can sort of relate to what happened. And the game could be more along the lines of that. You could probably have a campaign which goes through the war from 1939 to 1945. Though I doubt that would be done in a Battlefield game, at the very least, because Battlefield games haven't had very good campaigns, really, since I started playing anyway. Battlefield 3 campaign was pretty poor. I played more of the co-op to get more of the unlocks and get more of the stars, whatever the... I can't remember off the top of my head what the details were. But I would love to see a game like that. A modern game I can see actual locations from and maybe learn a bit about the locations and what happened during those battles, and something like that would be amazing. So that's what I think personally we could do, and I kind of really want to see is a highly popular and a highly graphical. Oh, well, I really screwed up with the words there. A highly anticipated game I want on my personal list is a modern Frostbite-powered first-person shooter in World War II era. Go back to the World War II, bring back some of the most iconic guns, iconic aircraft, and do the sounds right as well. I would love to see that. I would buy that game in a heartbeat. I probably wouldn't pre-order it, as I did with Battlefield 4, so I learnt my lesson with pre-ordering this game. But if they did it right and made the game look amazing, play amazing, and actually be accurate to battles that happened in the Second World War, then I would be very, very interested in getting the game. I do like my shooters in World War II, and I think they're solemnly missed out on it. I think it's a missed opportunity to get something like that back into the market. Anyway, guys, this has been my 2 cents on first-person shooters. I'm going to cut the video off here to stop it from being too long, otherwise I'll ramble on for about the next 20 minutes, and nobody wants to hear me ramble on for the next 20 minutes about the same bloody topic. So I thank you guys for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, whatever that may be.